Hello everybody and welcome to the part 2 of the video that's called Upgrading to Foundation. And in this mini series I'm going to be showing you how you can save up to 3 times the amount of code you write and actually write cleaner, faster code even as a beginner. And then I'm going to show how anyone can take an average Minecraft plugin and turn it into an absolute beast using the Foundation setup. And then I'll show you, as someone who spent over 10,000 hours coding Minecraft plugins, I will do a full code review and I'll upgrade an average bucket plugin to use Maven and the Foundation system. I'm not going to go into this presentation, I already covered it in the last video, and basically we'll take a plugin that looks like this. It has the main class, looks like this, pretty common, nothing unusual. However, we'll go and we'll turn it into an absolute beast. I'm going to split it into different parts, and this is the main class after the change. I'm not sure. Let me just increase the... Okay, apparently everything went wrong. There we go. No, Eclipse is failing me. Maybe I should just stick to IntelliJ. So this is the main class. We'll literally just cut everything out because Foundation will enable you to save so much time, guys. It's insane. There is the command system, much cleaner. And then there's also menu system. That's literally it. That's the full class for menus. Actually, there's 2 menus in it. That's the first menu. That's the other menu. And I'll show you how to do this in this video. In this video, more specifically, we'll start where we finished. We're going to format this plugin because the plugin author puts the brackets in a different way than what I'm used to. So it's just a personal preference, but whatever. We'll start there and then we will start to clean this class and we will talk about settings. So I do think to clean this class, you just need to format it. Okay, so it's right here, code, reformat the code, and then we will clean it. And we're gonna run it, there we go. And now it just moved the brackets a little bit. That's it. So the main plugin class, first thing I see is the instance. We're gonna get rid of the instance. And then instead of extending it simple Java plugin, we're gonna make this class extend simple plugin from Foundation. And you'll notice this, we make things simple, so we call things simple. And instead of calling this on enable, it's actually called on plugin start in Foundation. Instead of calling on disable, sorry, we'll just get rid of it. We don't need to use it. And then that's really it. And yeah, so the instance here, we can just get rid of it. If you guys need to get your plugin instance, you can just do a trick. So you can either go into your simple plugin and get an instance from there, although it's not gonna return that particular class. So you can just hardcode your get instance method, and then we can cast this call to simple plugin, because we know that there is only one chance that the simple plugin is going to be player stats plugin. There's 100% chance. Let me just do save actions, and then I'm not sure why it did not get saved in the last video, so I'm just gonna do reformat, reload. And I'm just gonna fix this real quick. There's some changes that I'd like to make to my IntelliJ to code faster. And then, what was that here? And then this one. And then there's also build automatically. I do think it's called compile automatically that I wanna make. I wanna enable, there we go, it's right here. Okay, so first things first, I see that there is console being used to send messages, which is absolutely ridiculous. I never used this personally, it's just weird. So there's no point in telling that the plugin has enabled, because when you start it, well, it's gonna tell you that the plugin has been enabled. Let me just show you this. No, let me just show you this in somewhere in the log. Well, you don't need to see the log. It's gonna tell, Bucket's gonna send that message, so there's no point in sending that message twice. And let me just comment this. We're going to be getting rid of this in a second, so we can get rid of this one too. And the statistics here, well, I'm gonna be talking about data storage later because we need some special attention to this class. It's not particularly well written. It combines static with non-static methods, and I'm gonna tell you we don't need to use it in the main class. And neither utils. So the person use utils in a weird way. What I do when I use utils, I make this class final, and I make everything static because there is no point in not making this static. It's just a simple utility class. And also, if you have Lombok actually makes it simple. You can just put in utility class here, and then you can get rid of static, and it's gonna put it there automatically. If you don't know what Lombok is, you can just Google it. I do think they have pretty good visual tutorials here, projectlombok.org, and then features, and then stable. And for example, you'll notice getter a lot here. Getter, so here is the vanilla Java, and here is Lombok. You'll notice the difference, and you can learn pretty much within 5 minutes and start using it. So I don't like using that particular annotation. I like to clearly have it as static. And that's it. And just don't worry about the errors. You're going to be bugged out until we finish editing. So let's get rid of the utils, also the stats. We don't need to set it up here. I'm going to be showing you a better way. And then inventories. I do think, yeah, it's just 2 methods. So let's just make them static. There's no point in not making these methods static. Yeah, and I mean, this one is static. So that's pretty strange. Or is it? I'm not sure. Can't remember. But there's no point in making this static. And there's no point in making it here. So let's just finish off this video, although we're only 6 minutes in, with talking about settings. Basically, Foundation makes it super easy to have your settings classes, because there's 2 systems for settings. The first is called static access. The other is called something like this one, where you're just gonna put fields and then call it. And for your main config.yaml, which actually in Foundation is called settings.yaml, you will need to use the static access because it's just so easy. And I'm gonna show you how it works. So let's just make a new package. Let's just call it settings. Let's create a new class. Let's just name it settings, and well, guess what it's gonna extend? It's gonna extend simple settings. That's it. There's nothing else. The class can be empty. Now, how it's gonna work is that here, I've noticed that there is, it's copying the header, and then it's adding the defaults, whitelist option, and then whitelist worlds. So let's just go into and create our settings here. There we go. And I can place whitelist option here, but I don't like the option here. It should be maybe called enabled. And then worlds. It's gonna be a list of worlds. There we go. And also, what's cool about Foundation, it supports saving comments. So you can just have, for example, comment here, and then and that's it. Now it's gonna work. And the way you load it inside the settings class is you can either put it here right away, public static boolean enabled, and then public static list of worlds as list worlds. Okay, that's it. Or, and then you need to obviously load it. So to load it, we have a private static void init, which is going to be called automatically using reflection. So make sure to always have it like this. And then you simply call enabled, get boolean, add whitelist dot enabled, or worlds get list, or get string list, whitelist dot worlds. Now, what I like to do, I like to put this into a different category, because you're gonna have different categories here. For example, demo, and then, you know, option 1. And then what you're gonna have is a mess. So we can put this into a private, a public static final class whitelist, like this. And then you can just call, you know, settings.whitelist to separate these config sections in Java. Now, when it comes to loading these fields, you actually need to get rid of all primitive types. We actually need to make them into wrapper classes. You can just Google Java wrapper classes to discover how to make them. If you have a byte, you'll put a byte here. If you have an int, you'll put an integer right here. If you have boolean with a small b, you're just gonna make the b capital. And then list, this can be a classic list. That works just fine. Although I do recommend you have an is in list to compare things and then ask if it's in list. Because what is in list is gonna also support the star. So if I put in a star here, it's gonna match everything. So it's gonna work like a universal list. That's just gonna work everywhere. It's pretty useful. And then we need to load it. So new is in list, and then get the list. We do not support get is in list here because it's just unnecessary. And I do think we're now done with settings. What's cool about Foundation is that it's gonna look at the resources section and it's gonna load settings automatically. Believe or not, you're now done. That's it. That's it. Literally, that's it. And everything works, guys. The comments will work. Whitelist is gonna work. If you don't believe me, you can just print out whitelist worlds here, settings, whitelist worlds. And here's one final tip that I actually forgot. You can actually put something like path prefix and then whitelist, which is gonna automatically prepend whitelist section into these two. So you don't have to, you can just get rid of that section. And if you have multiple sections, then you just change this and change the name of the class, and that's it. Do not put multiple init voids here. That doesn't work. You can have multiple sections in here. Whitelist 2. If I have 2 here and I call this again, it's gonna automatically put whitelist.2.enabled. That's how it works. Very simple. And then we can obviously get rid of the classes. That's here. There we go. And then I do think we can just get rid of this one. And then, yeah, load config, also get rid of that one. Now, we're done with improving our settings. How did you like it so far? I hope you did. So, now it's time to finish out this video with improving our localization file. So, basically, we do have support for something called lang. And it works a little bit better than here, because here you can only have one lang folder, one lang file. Inside the resources folder, you can actually make localization folder and then put in different messages. And each message is going to be called messages underscore, and then the language underscore en, for example, YAML for English. And you can put different messages down here with multiple languages. And we actually have these files ready in the plugin template. If you go to resources, you'll notice this. There's actually settings here with a bunch of comments that are very useful, and with a bunch of keys that we already use. You don't have to put them in your folder if you don't want to, but you can, and then you'll be able to customize them if you will use these features from Foundation. And here's the locale file that we need to put in our settings. And that's going to be en, so it's going to pull messages underscore en. Let me just maybe make this beautiful. That's it. So when it comes to localization, there's also a pre-created localization file. It contains just so many things because Foundation does support everything here automatically. If you guys want to customize these messages, you can obviously just get raw and then copy paste into your messages file. You don't have to. If you leave this empty, these messages will be used in their default form, which is this one. But we can just keep it here. Why not? And then what is this guy doing? Let's just have a look at this. So he's using error 1, error 2. Okay, it's just so weird. I'm not gonna do that. Player not found. I do think it's down here already. Not online, not player before. Yeah, we can get rid of it. The amount has to be positive, so maybe we can just create a new section for it somewhere. Invalid section, and then invalid amount, and then we can just copy it. Just to make it a little bit better, because I honestly don't know what error 2 is for. It's just going to be so confusing. And then incorrect usage of command, we can get rid of this one. This will be shown in Foundation. There's no such category. Yeah, we don't have to use it for now. And then you do not have permission to use that command. So we do have a no permission. Message already down here, which is pretty cool. And then only players can use that command. So I do think it's right here, no console. And then successfully reset your progress. So that's actually something we can use. Change applied, for example, applied, and here I'd like to use these brackets, not percentage marks. There we go. And then these help commands, so I mean, you could potentially make help 1 and then just make it a list. And then do the same, although I don't like this system. I'm not sure how much time we will spend. I can just put it in here and then maybe change it in later videos. But that's really it. And now let's just fix the spelling typos. There we go. And now we can get rid of the lang folder, of the lang class, sorry. The full class, yes. We don't need it. And also get rid of this one here. We don't need it, really. It's not used. And then get a message. It's not needed also. And that's it. And again, Foundation will load this file automatically based on the preference from your settings folder, settings file. That's it. And we can also get rid of these fields since these were used only for localization. And then here, so placeholders. I see that I have time right now. We can maybe spend 25 minutes. So placeholders, this is good. It's using placeholder API. We actually have simple expansion here, which is even better. I can get rid of everything here and now only call the on or replace. I'm not sure. Yeah, on replace. There we go. And now we can copy this over. And then if player instance of a player, we can just return it. Otherwise, we can keep it for now. For now, I'm gonna go back into it, so do not worry about the compile errors. And then we actually need to do something else. You need to call variables in the Foundation package, and then add expansion, and then new placeholders. And you don't have to worry about placeholder API being here or not. We will do the rest automatically. It will not crash in case there isn't. And then to register events, you can just type in register events here, and we can get rid of this. And then we can get rid of the add permission. It is totally unnecessary. Also this debug message. And then that's pretty much it. We've cleaned this class up. How beautiful. So I think that's it for this video, although we can probably clean it a little bit better. So utilities, you can get rid of the center text because that's the same as calling schedule and then center. We already have it in the Foundation package. Also add glow to items, you can get rid of it. We have it. If you want to add glow, you can use item creator of, and then for example you want to add glow to wool, black wool. You just type glow true, and then you want to build it and then make it into an item stack. And that's how you add glow to an item. Very simple, with one line, instead of having to dig in NMS. So we can get rid of it. And then is integer, there is valid, that is integer here in the valid class we have. Same goes for float, except that this is called is decimal. And then calculate kill to death ratio. I do think it's better to have it in the statistics down here. So we can actually get rid of the utility class. And then we can also get rid of the reflection class Most people have it. You don't have to. For version, you can use the Minecraft version class, and then equals getServer version is newer than v.1.17, for example. You can use that instead of having to code your own one and then do weird things like that with repetition. And send packet, there's a bunch of methods you can check out in the remain package, including the send packet method. Get NMS player, it's called get handle entity, you can just cast it. And then get constructor, yes, we have it in our own reflection URL class. Get, you can see a bunch of things we have here. Get constructor is one of those in this here, get constructor. And then you can see all the things we have here. Pretty cool. You can just go to github.com/kangarooCode/foundation to see Foundation, because it is open source, so you'll be able to see everything. So actually we can get rid of everything, and we can get rid of this class. Whoa, that's how you do it. And now, last thing before I finish off this video, let's just repackage it a little bit cleaner. So I like to put commands in the command package, and there's 2 commands. I like to put events in the listener package, and inside the events I can see there's only player related events, so we can rename it to player listener, and then we can drag it into listener, and then stats here. So again, it has to do with the file loading. You can get rid of this class, you don't need it. We handle file loading better using Foundation. And then inventories, placeholder, statistics, looks like some modeling packages, so we can actually create a model package. There we go. Let's put it down here, and then that's it. We're now done. There's tons of errors, there's still tons of things to do, but I don't want these videos to be, you know, 4 or 5 hour long, so I just wanted to split it. And in the next video I'm gonna show you how to rewrite commands. Thank you.